Mangione, the defendant, is charged with 1 count of murder in the first degree and 2 counts of murder in the second degree, including 1 count of murder in the second degree as an act of terrorism for the brazen, targeted, and premeditated shooting of Brian Thompson, who, as you know, was the CEO of United Healthcare. This was a frightening, well-planned, targeted murder that was intended to cause shock and attention and intimidation. It occurred in one of the most bustling parts of our city, threatening the safety of local residents and tourists alike, commuters and business people just starting out on their day.
I wanted to talk a little bit about the CEO killing and some of the charges that have been coming out against Luigi Mangione today. I just wanted to talk a little bit about what terrorism is and how potentially we can find a way out of this. I just want to be clear before I get into this. I don't condone violence at all. I don't believe that the actions taken against the CEO, Brian Thompson of United Healthcare, is one that should have been done. I don't agree with the methods that Luigi Mangione did to kind of enforce what we may call justice in America, right? But what I do want to talk about a little bit is how this exposes a lot of the injustice that happens in America. And I hope you all will follow me along with this. Like when you hear terrorism, what do you think of? List of current terrorist organizations. Alpha 66 is an anti-Cuban faction, and Liberation Fund takes extreme measures to protect animals, some of which they have done created explosive devices against consumer product testing companies, and have even led potential assassinations of researchers, corporate officers, and employees of organizations that do harm to animals. Other ones that you might be familiar with is Jewish Defense League. KKK is one that we commonly know in America. The Order United Freedom Front is a Marxist organization. So I just want to kind of give some context to how we see terrorism in America. So when we are looking at terrorism and you talk about how this was a frightened, well-planned, targeted murder that was intended to shock and attention, or cause shock and attention and intimidation. I don't know if this will be considered terrorism or not. That's not why I'm making this video. I looked a little bit into the definitions that the FBI talk a little bit about, and in terms of domestic terrorism, this is right here. So we view domestic terrorism as a violent criminal acts committed by individuals or groups to further ideological goals stemming from domestic influences, such as those of a political, religious, social, racial, and environmental nature. That is a very broad definition of terrorism, but I don't really get a sense of the specific nature of terrorism, because you can kind of brand anything as terrorism as long as you don't believe, because we're talking about ideological goals, right? Luigi Mangione, for all we know, was struggling, was in pain, was having to deal with a broken system that was not allowing him to be healthy in the United States, right? We want to talk about justice. We want to talk about fairness. I want to be clear. Healthcare should be a right in the United States. You should not go into medical debt in the United States. I want to be very clear about that. We have the healthcare in the United States. We have one of the best healthcare systems in the US. Hey, just coming in here, and I wanted to clarify a little bit about the healthcare system. rankings within the US. So the healthcare system ranks fairly poorly compared to other countries in several different measures in the US. The US spends more than 16% of its GDP on healthcare, and it's projected to spend more than 20% by 2035. We also rank last in quality, efficiency, and access. So, why do we spend so much money in healthcare, and why are people not getting access to that? What this is showing us is how much people are hurting. This was somebody who was very smart, very intelligent, had a future, and thought within himself that the best course of action was to show the CEO what they did to him and to millions, millions of Americans in the US. There shouldn't be the need to go after one specific person. And I also want to say what Luigi Mangione did in the grand scheme of things isn't going to change anything. The media and the task force and the justice system, the district attorney, all of those people, they want to brand something as terrorism to scare the rest of the population from making a difference. I do think this person, for whatever it's worth, should have some repercussions. There should be. He killed somebody. He should go to jail. But we should not ignore the fact that he exposed a giant hole in our system. We just had a very violent school shooting. Hey, coming in again, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about what I meant with the connection of the school shooting in Wisconsin and this case. All I'm trying to say is how we view justice in America is broken. We, as much as I believe that Luigi Mangione should go to jail, I am not saying that he shouldn't. But what I am saying is these corporations that are dealing out guns, that are withholding healthcare for life-saving healthcare for people who need it, these are the people that should have some repercussions in this country and are currently not having repercussions in this country. These are people that don't make a lot of money. I am somebody who doesn't make a lot of money. I am just somebody who is a small portion of the population in the US. I am not going to change the world. Luigi is not going to change the world. The people who have the power in the US can change the world. When you have 4 people in the US combined that have $1 trillion worth of wealth, 4 people have $1 trillion worth of wealth in the United States, the system doesn't work. The charges of terrorism in the US look a little bit like this. To be considered terrorism, you have to do any of these things. You know, you have to threaten, right? Conspiracy, aiding and abetting, attacking a federal facility, using weapons of mass destruction, providing material support to those who create terrorist activity, harboring terrorists, bombing, kidnapping, arson, and murder. These can all be forms of terrorism. Did Luigi Mangione create terrorism in the U.S.? For CEOs, for people who have money, absolutely. People who have power, they're scared. You have lived your entire life profiting off of those who die every day, profiting off of giving guns to people who enact murder, crime, violence. You have led your entire life creating a system, a world where people cannot live. You have done one or any of these. So you want to talk a little bit about Luigi Mangione. Is he a terrorist? No, I don't think so. Will he be charged as a terrorist? Absolutely. I believe that 100%. Because it matters who is charging him. Big money, big pharma, all of the healthcare system, all these people who have billions of dollars will charge him for terrorism. What I am telling you is this person, who is a well-educated individual, decided it is worth his life to make a ripple in the American justice system and spend his life in prison than to keep working, keep pushing, keep pulling yourself by the bootstraps, right? This isn't America. This isn't the America that I want to live in, where the only way to enact justice is to take someone's life. These people are profiting off of human lives, American lives. And the most American thing that we can do is hold them accountable. So whoever has power, if you have power, wealth, money, make a difference with that. Because the system that we live in requires money. Sure, I understand that. But for those who don't have money, think about where you spend your money. Are you giving money back to the people who don't need it? Or are you giving it to people who are working class Americans who are living paycheck to paycheck, small businesses who are struggling to live in America right now, who quite literally may lose the ability to stay in business because of the next administration? All I'm saying is think about where you put your energy, where you put your power, where you put your voice, and where you put your money. I hope that you can take what I'm saying as a place to start. Look deeper, think harder about who you are and what you want in your life. We only have one life. Let's create something for future generations. Much love. Peace.